Okay, so I want to talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey first part reunion. I can't believe the reunion's already here. I was so busy and I was watching a couple of them back to back, and then finally I was able to watch the reunion. Um, so I'm going to try to read this article from the Hollywood Life. This is pretty much, I haven't read it yet, but I think this is pretty much just about Theresa and her sister in law, Melissa. Y'all would definitely get my opinions. I feel, I don't know, like, I I like Teresa, but I like Melissa more. I can understand where Melissa is coming from. I feel like Teresa is always shouting, it's all about family, 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 family. But then whenever the roles are reversed, where's Teresa at? Why isn't Teresa defending her family? Okay, so let's read this. Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion. Teresa Giudice disses Melissa Gorga as she admits they are not close. Melissa's feelings over not being asked to be Teresa's bridesmaid reunited a huge rift between the Gorgas and Giudices. I think Melissa is so pretty. I really want to do a recap of all of the girls at some point. Okay, the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion kicked off on May 3rd with a whole lot of drama. And it wasn't just this season's drama that got rehashed. While fighting with Melissa, Teresa brought up how Melissa and Joe befriended Caroline and Jacqueline and turned them against her after joining the show many, many years ago. But host Andy Cohen refused to let the ladies rehash old quarrels. Even so, it became evident pretty quickly that Teresa never got over Melissa and Joe joining the show. Shocker. And let's be honest, Teresa may sometimes say that she and Melissa are on good terms, but her actions have always said otherwise. And in part 1 of the reunion, she finally admitted that they are not in a good place. The admission came after Melissa revealed her feelings were hurt when she learned Teresa would not be asking her to be a bridesmaid in her wedding. They have years of history with each other, but Teresa doesn't think they are close enough to have Melissa in her wedding. Instead, she asked Lewis's sisters, who she's only known for 1 year, to be in her wedding. So we can't blame Melissa for being upset. I don't feel close to you, Teresa told Melissa, to which she said, let's stop faking like we have a relationship then, because you've proved to everyone that we don't. That was so hard to watch, but I'm so glad Melissa stood up for herself. I feel like Melissa has gone through so much crap being in that family. So she's trying to keep the peace. And she's doing an amazing job. She's trying to keep the peace as much as she can. Sometimes she's stuck between a hard, what is it? A hard rock and a hard place. I don't know. I'm mixing it up. But I feel so bad for her being placed in the situation that she gets placed in. And it's okay, well, I have my sister-in-law. Even though we don't always get along, family comes first, but I have my best friend over here, and she's making a really good point. What am I supposed to do? So it's ridiculous. And then Teresa, she's always saying, it's family. Family's number one. You gotta do it for your family. But here she is. I mean, honestly, if I was Melissa, I wouldn't really care to be in her wedding, but I definitely 100% understand why she would be upset. I would be like, yeah, I don't really want to be in your wedding because how you treat me, and I don't even know if I really understand y'all's relationship. But it did hurt that you would not choose me. Like, your option was this dude's sisters that you've only known for a year. You can't know someone that well for a year. And how long has she known Melissa? I think Theresa is secretly jealous of Melissa. Because if she does not see Melissa as a threat, why does she always feel like she has to be on repeat about she got her brother and her sister-in-law on the show? They wouldn't have been on the show if it wasn't for her. She even said that she was going to quit if they brought them on the show, which obviously she didn't. But it's like, why are you, like, you're looking pathetic. Like, you look like you're just jealous of Melissa, which I can understand why. I mean, I like Theresa. I think she's pretty. I think most of the time she's smart, besides the whole prenup thing. If she does not get a prenup, I think that is so irresponsible. I understand you're in love. I swear if I hear this whole love bubble one more time, I'm going to probably vomit. But just seeing, like, we only see little parts of Louis, and especially on the last episode, the one that aired right before the reunion, where he was getting, like, it was ridiculous. Like, whenever Theresa and Margaret was talking, and they were trying to hash it out, but Theresa just does not know how to apologize. Like, Teresa's just never in the wrong. So I forgot how it ended or what was said exactly, but I think Theresa said something and then Margaret was just like, done, you know? And as she was walking away, Louis like, yeah, have a great night. Or he said something, and I'm like, see, that's ridiculous right there. Like, shut up. You don't have to say anything to Margaret. Like, these are two females who have known each other for freaking years. You just stepped in the picture. You're a male. Shut up. You should not be saying anything to Margaret at all. Like, why are you being like a sarcastic asshole? That, like, you're starting to see the real Louis. And then he gets all hot and red and heated and aggravated, and then he wants to leave, like, leave now. And you could tell Teresa's trying. It kind of almost looked like Theresa was kind of nervous and not like scared, but kind of a little scared about what may happen. So she was like kind of laughing it off, and she was like, it's okay, I'm okay, it's okay. And she would like give him a hug, and I'm thinking, no, but it's just not okay. Like, so he's like, no, I want to leave this. And you just see, and just like her brother said, like, he makes her happy, so let's see what happens. We're starting to see him crack under pressure. Let's see if he can handle it. And like, as they were leaving, I think it was that right after that, that's whenever Theresa said something like, she would pretty much kick anyone out of her life over Louis. She is so protective over this stupid love bubble that she is just blinded. It sucks. And then that's just like a whole nother subject with Theresa and Louis and the relationship, because, oh my gosh, I could just talk for so long about their relationship and the allegations and how Theresa, I think she just feels like she has to have someone to blame. So she's like blaming Margaret. I really like Margaret. I really do. And I really honestly feel like Margaret, to my recollection, I feel like Margaret always seems to have everyone's best interests at heart. I feel like if Margaret says anything, she's doing it out of concern. And the longer you know someone, the more you're comfortable with them. So you're not going to be like walking on eggshells. You're going to be like she was telling her. I'm not trying to bring up this stuff to bring it out in public because it's already out in public. But Margaret was trying to let Theresa know, you got to take care of this now. Stop pretending it doesn't exist. It's not going to go away. And then Theresa, thinking that Margaret's telling the blogs. Like, why does Margaret have to tell the blogsies? Like, I think Margaret has enough on her plate. I don't think she needs to go around digging up dirt on this dude and then putting it in the blogs. Like, no. All these people are doing it on their own. Like, if you're going on a reality show, you better make sure you don't have no skeletons in your closet. If you do, get ready for them to be shown, because that's exactly what's going to happen, and that's exactly what happened to Louis. People from his past and fans will dig and dig and dig. They will dig. No one has to do it for them. It makes me so upset that it's just like, I don't want her. Like, I don't want anything to happen and then everyone be like, oh, I told you so. Because he's, like, allegedly is being sued. So, if they don't, because Teresa's like, well, he has more money than me. Okay, cool. Just like what Andy said, things change. So, what if someone sues him, and then after, he runs out of money, they're gonna come after you. Because y'all are married and you don't have a prenup. Sorry. It's just, I wonder if this will let me play. I love her. She is so patient. She really is.
You were asked on Watch What Happens Live who was going to be your bridesmaid. Melissa will not be a bridesmaid.
No.
When you heard that, were you hurt?
At first, no, because I thought it would probably just be your daughters, but then you're having your new sister-in-laws.
Yes, I speak to them, like, all the time. Look where you're sitting.
See, that's just aggravates me so much, because even if you speak to them every single day for a year, her and Melissa have been through a lot together. That overwrites any conversation you could have every day for 365 days. I'm sorry. It's just absolute bullcrap. Like, and just like, I don't know if it's gonna show it. Oh my gosh. But like, even her brother said, like, it's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to Melissa and to him. Like, you always want to say family, 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 but look at you. You're like, I'm gonna try to play it as much as I can. I'm sure I'm gonna have to stop it for a little bit just for, I don't want to get like copyright or anything like that. I guess the fair warning. But now, she's talking about, look where you're sitting. That made me mad. What are you talking about, look where she's sitting? Just because she's sitting on the edge of the couch, that doesn't mean where she's sitting has anything to do with the relationship y'all are in. She needs a rude awakening. You would think her going to prison, she would be more humble and, like, I can't. She's just so mean sometimes.
Sitting, and look where I'm sitting.
No, we're not talking about seats right now. Why are you coming out negative?
I just
you should
asked
feel
her if
bad,
she was
actually.
hurt.
I'm not coming out negative.
Yeah, you are. You just said, look where you're sitting.
Meaning, like, if you
Teresa,
want...
whoever you want in your wedding is fine with me.
This is the thing, honey. We're not close.
Okay.
Like, you're my sister-in-law, but we're not close.
Understandable. Like, my heart's beating right now because it's kind of, like, sad for me. It's just that we have a lot of memories, even if we're not close. When you were away, I was the one helping your mother pick up your girls and bring them to dance. You remember that?
No, I asked my
You
daughter.
remember who's
Andy,
been
who you
here
should
through
ask
all
that?
your for the last 20
Ask my
years.
daughters.
Me. I have been there holding
20
her mother's
years.
hand while her mother was in the hospital. I painted her toenails while she was in the hospital.
You've been married to my brother
When my
how long?
father-in-law was in the hospital, it was you, me, and your brother holding his hand on his final hours.
Of course.
There was a lot I've done, so please don't take that away from me.
I'm not... Melissa...
We have history, honey, me and you. And
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. That makes me so emotional. Like, I'm getting goosebumps, and I just watched this the other day. Like, and it just gives me goosebumps. I feel so bad for Melissa, and I know there's a part of her that just wants to be like, I'm done trying, but she just has such a big heart, and she wants the family to stay together, but just, that's so messed up of Theresa. And it's not just the wedding, that was just like the straw that broke the camel's back type thing.
I love you very much, and I'm happy for you.
Of course, but
I think you should remember what family is. I'm more your family than those girls you met 1 year ago.
Yeah.
And it's very sad that you don't feel that way.
No. We haven't double date. I asked my brother that.
What?
When I was single.
Look at
When I was
Dolores.
single. When
You
I
don't
was
have a
single.
man.
Wait,
You're
when I
not
was single.
invited to the
Now Joe
engagement
left.
party. That's a little weird.
I went Joe
Sorry.
left. I'm like,
Okay, yeah, sorry. This is another thing. And okay, first of all, Jennifer, whatever, she's gotten on my nerves so bad this season, especially towards the end. It's like the longer the seasons go, like each episode goes by, I cannot stand her at all. And this reunion, I just want to be like, shut up. Just like, who was it? Oh, whenever Joe came out and Theresa and her brother, they were like going at it and they were talking. And then here comes Jennifer trying to intervene and talk, and Melissa's like whispering, like, please let brother and sister talk. Like, let them talk. Like, stay out of it. But she was like saying nicely. So she is getting on. She just needs to shut her trap. She is so aggravating. I think she's like up Teresa's butt. I don't know why. But Dolores, I love Dolores too. I love her. Earlier, I think it was before this part, they were talking about the engagement party. And Theresa said that I guess Dolores did not know that she was even having a party. So she was wondering, like, why she wasn't invited. Like, it didn't really bother her, but she was wondering, like, are you mad at me? Is that why you didn't invite me? So whenever she asked Theresa, Theresa said it's just a few, like, couple friends, and her, like, they never went on double dates together. So that's why she wasn't invited, which I think is ridiculous and disgusting. Like, who in the world has an engagement party with couples only? And then not even couples only, but only couples that they double date with. It makes no sense. Like, that's how much you care about Dolores. Like, it's your engagement party. You should invite her. And then she just said something to Melissa about, like, being in the wedding and they don't double date. Why? You don't have to double date to be in somebody's wedding. Like, if you're busy and you have kids, like, I'm sorry, maybe y'all are just lucky because y'all have money and nannies and sitters and assistants and all that crap, but normal people, we barely are able to go on a date. So to go on a double date, it's pretty freaking rare. I honestly don't even know if I've been on a double date. I mean, if I have, it was like only once. So, like, how are you gonna say, oh yeah, to determine our closeness, we haven't been on any double dates, so we're not close. And so stupid. She's not very smart.
To it, then I'm sure.
I don't feel close to you. Like, that's the
But
thing.
I have to be honest with you. Let's stop faking like we have a relationship because you've proved to
don't have a
everyone that we don't.
relationship.
I think she thinks you're closer with Margaret than you are with
There's
her.
nothing to be close. What does it be honest?
have to do with her?
I'm not saying
Okay.
anything, but I don't
All
agree
right.
with it, Margaret. That's how
Okay.
she feels.
All right.
I didn't want it to be
That's
this big
how she
thing. This is
feels.
my day. It's about Louie and I.
Yes.
It's about Louie, you, and Louie's family. Beautiful. I'm assuming that's why I was sat at the other table too at the engagement party. You had your whole you and Louie's family at a table, and me and your brother and your nieces and nephews were at the friend table.
Wait a minute. No, wait a minute.
If I get married, I'm eloping.
That is so sad. Like, And you know that hurt her brother so bad. How the hell can you sit your brother, your sister-in-law, and your nieces and nephews at the friend table? And then she's going to sit here and say, that wasn't me. I didn't do the seatings. Bullshit. You are the bride. They are going to run it by you to double check and make sure. Is this good? Do you want to change it? Don't do that. Don't even do that. Like, that is so sickening. I really hope she learns her lessons and they put her in her place, because if not, she's just going to keep on doing this. Just like in this season, who was it? It was Margaret. Because some people were just like, well, that's just how Theresa is. Like, even though it wasn't a good apology, or it wasn't really, an apology, she tried. So, and then freaking Jennifer over here with the crooked ass nose wants to be like, well, don't you give like children like incentives, like when they do something nice? What? Teresa's not a child. You cannot hold her at a different standard. Just like Margaret said, that's not fair. Everyone needs to be held accountable the same way. That's not okay. You can't be like doing anything, like whatever you want to anybody besides Theresa. Like, Theresa will dig up people's relationships. Theresa will try to, blast information and try to say, yeah, your husband cheated on you. But God forbid you ask her a question and all hell breaks loose. And it's not even like anyone on the cast was trying to like bring anything to light. Everything was already out there. People were already talking about all these videos and all these allegations about Louis before it even freaking aired on TV.
Sorry.
Oh my God! See how you did that? See, sister, good sister, you wouldn't throw her under the bus like this.
I'm not throwing you under the bus. I'm telling the truth.
Andy, I went up to her at the engagement party. Did not do the seating arrangements.
You look at your own seating arrangements and engagement party.
Yeah.
I didn't. Margaret, don't try to tell me what you
There's
do.
two tables. You didn't know that your only brother wasn't
I
going to be
didn't
at
do
your
the seating
table?
arrangements.
It's
so
fine.
what? It was
We're
already
good.
done. When I got
We
there,
wish
it
you
was
the
done
best.
already.
If you saw her sitting at another table.
Okay, I want to.
You.
I want to talk about Louis.
Stupid bitch.
I want to talk about
You think
Louis.
you know everything. So shut the up, Margaret.
It's so aggravating. And then what did she say right after? Oh, Theresa was upset because she said if Melissa was a good sister-in-law, she wouldn't have had her wedding whenever Theresa was pregnant. And like, even Andy was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, you're sitting, you don't even have Melissa, your sister-in-law. What did they say? 20 years? She's not in your wedding. But you're going to have pretty much these strangers you've only known for a year. Which everyone knows you can't really know people that well for a year anyways. Like, that's just sad. That's just sad. Everyone, that's just whatever. But then you're going to get mad at Melissa for having her wedding while you're pregnant. Like, she was supposed to, change her wedding date because, oh gosh, you were pregnant. I think we just watched all this. Melissa then revealed that Theresa sat her and Joe at the friends table at her engagement party while Louis' sisters sat at the family table. Theresa claimed she didn't make the seating chart and had no idea Joe and Melissa would be put at a different table. But this is the same woman who didn't invite Dolores to the engagement party because she and her then boyfriend David never double dated with her and Louis. Theresa said that she and Louis only invited couples that they hang out with. This is also the same Dolores who has gone to bat for Theresa for many years. But Dolores chose not to get mad at Theresa for it and instead left the argument to Melissa and Theresa. Melissa went on to say that Theresa was one of her bridesmaids, so it would have been nice for her to be one in Theresa's wedding too. But in an effort to not let Melissa look like the better person, Theresa noted that she was 8 months pregnant while a bridesmaid in Melissa's wedding, and Melissa shouldn't have had her wedding while she was expecting. Good sisters-in-law wait, Theresa told Andy. When he questioned what he was hearing, like us, his jaw hit the floor. Exactly what I was talking about. I don't look at that. Poor Melissa. Following that comment, Joe was brought out to join the ladies. Oh my, I hope they really bring everything out what happened. He told Theresa that she was wrong for not asking Melissa to be a bridesmaid. He admitted that he was not asked to be a groomsman. He admitted that he was asked to be a groomsman, but because Melissa was disrespected by Theresa, he's not sure whether it's a good idea. Pause. I am glad, which Joe always stands up for Melissa. I think I like Joe. I agree. And I hope Joe says no to the wedding. Even though Theresa is his sister, I would say hell no. Sorry, but if you're going to disrespect me and my wife, I'm not going to be a part of it. I'll go to your wedding. I'll be there. I'll support you, but I'm not going to be in the wedding. Like, how would Melissa feel? Like, then she would be feeling, like, betrayed by Theresa, like, her sister-in-law and her husband. Okay. Then when the seating arrangement from the engagement party was brought up again, Joe tried telling Theresa that if the same were done to her, she would be furious. Theresa disagreed and barely let Joe say anything. Then she said the seating arrangement was a result of their history. What the I can't. Melissa came on the show. She became friends with Caroline and Jacqueline and went against me, Theresa said out loud, to which Melissa replied, "This is crazy. You're talking about 2010. Do you want me to talk about Kim D, Jan, and everyone you became friends with?" Theresa said they don't have a close relationship, but she wants one. Joe and Melissa both said that they have tried, and Theresa claims she has too, but they didn't agree. Andy even read a fan question in which the fan asked Theresa if she could name examples of when she had ever had Melissa's back, and she couldn't think of a single example. She begged producers to roll the tape to show all the alleged examples, but nothing was shown. The only thing Theresa could think of was when she told Jennifer Aiden to stop being mean to Melissa. But Melissa, and Jennifer had to tell her that. But Melissa said it wasn't good enough. She said Theresa shouldn't have stayed at Jennifer's house after Jennifer got physical with her. Pause. I agree. If Melissa and Joe, if roles were reversed, in every situation of these, if Jennifer got physical with Theresa and Joe and Melissa stayed, oh Lord, Theresa would be getting on their behinds. Next, Andy brought up how Theresa's daughters got involved in the adult drama this season before asking Theresa why she allowed it. She just said her daughters have strong opinions, and they say how Joe and Melissa kept bashing their dad, Joe Giudice. But when Joe brought up how Joe Giudice had been talking trash about him in the press, Theresa took a random and far-fetched dig at Joe for once siding with cousin Kathy over her in 2011. Joe then said his kids also watched the show, and Theresa said they probably hate Joe Giudice, but not her because she didn't do anything to them ever. But Melissa reminded Theresa how she accused her of being a stripper, insinuated that she might cheat on Joe, among many other things over the years. She begged to differ. Theresa refused to see anything any other way than the way she sees it, and when she called her brother a bitch boy, he had enough. He told Andy he's quitting the show, and he stormed off set. That was so ridiculous. And I remember, like, even Andy, like, Joe was, like, trying to talk. And most of the time, Andy was asking Joe a question. And as soon as Joe would try to answer, Theresa would just start running her mouth. And Andy would be like, I asked him a question. Please let him talk. Please let him answer. Shut up. But yeah, like, I can't. And then, again, that Jennifer Aiden girl I can't stand. But for that, she called Joe, what did she say? A bitch girl or something like that. And again, did Theresa say anything? Did Theresa defend? No. Theresa never defends anyone. But everybody is supposed to freaking defend Theresa. So, y'all let me know what y'all thought about that scene in the reunion. I want to go over each cast member, just like kind of recap their stories and my opinions and thoughts, what I remember about it. I need to get better, but sometimes it's really hard to watch the show immediately whenever it airs. Sometimes I have to just, like, put on my DVR because just, you know, between working and having the kids and picking up and showers and baths and dinners and stuff, it's hard to always have time to do that. But, this was sad to me. This was extremely sad, but I'm very glad it finally got brought up. Because it needs to be resolved. And I don't know why Theresa can't see it. And I hope somehow she starts seeing that she treats her brother and her sister-in-law like crap. And everything's a double standard with her. And it wouldn't surprise me if Louie's like in her ear, like making it worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just couldn't imagine, like, being at her wedding. Well, if I was Melissa and Joe, I would not want to be in the wedding. Especially seeing how she treated me and how she felt. Like, if you don't want me in your wedding, I don't want to be in your wedding. But just, I don't know, that's just crappy to be, like, at your sister's wedding, at your sister-in-law's wedding, and just seeing strangers in the wedding and not you. And y'all are like the real family. I don't know. And y'all leave your thoughts and comments below. Like I said, this article was mainly just about Theresa and Melissa and the wedding, not being in the wedding, and Joe. But also how crappy Theresa has been treating Joe. She's been, you know, everything is a double standard. She hasn't been very nice to Melissa, and she hasn't been very nice to Joe. I think she feels so threatened over Melissa and Joe. I think she's jealous of them. I think she's jealous of the relationship that they have, their marriage. But she has been disrespecting him, and I think he's finally had enough. And for him, like, for her to call him bitch boy in public on TV after a reunion, I feel so bad for him. And I feel bad for her because she's coming really close to actually losing her brother if she doesn't snap into it and realize how poorly she's treating them. Because you could tell Joe's like, they're taking it. They're, you know, thinking about their mom and dad. They don't want to, you know, they're trying to keep the peace because all they have is each other. So it's almost as if Melissa and Joe have to put up with anything and everything Theresa does because they want to keep the peace, because that's the only family that's left. But at the same time, you cannot keep on allowing her to do this. Maybe if they back up and they're, you know, they let her know what she's done and they just take a break from her, maybe she'll finally realize how horrible she's been treating them, and maybe she'll be like, you know what, they are my family and I need to start treating them better, or I'm not going to be seeing them anymore. I don't know. Y'all, leave your comments below if y'all watched the reunion, what y'all thought about that.